In this video lecture, we will start with the nomenclature of organic compounds, right? Nomenclature means naming of organic compounds, right? Because we know that the organic compounds are increasing day by day, right? And we have around 6 million of organic compounds. So we should have a set of rules, right, to name these organic compounds. Nomenclature of organic compounds will tell us the rules to name these organic compounds, right? And the first attempt towards finding the rules for these organic compounds was done by International Chemical Congress at Geneva, right? And this was further revised by International Union of Chemistry, right? First International Chemical Congress at Geneva, right, attempted to find the set of rules in 1892. Then these rules were revised by International Union of Chemistry, right? Then these at Liebig, International Union of Chemistry at Liebig, and these rules were further revised by International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, that we know today as IUPAC, right? So the set of rules to name an organic compound is given by IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, right? So first was International Chemical Congress, right, at Geneva, right? These rules were revised by International Union of Chemistry. These were further revised by IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, right? And name of organic compounds today are given by International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, right? And earlier, when organic chemistry was developing, the name of organic compounds were based on their source or on their properties. For example, methane was called as methane because methane was found in marshy places, right? So we used to call it marsh gas, right? Methane was earlier called as marsh gas. So methane, let me write it over here. Methane was marsh gas, right? Or we also call it as fire damp. Why? Because this was found in marshy places. Similarly, you have formic acid. Formic acid was found in red ants, or this is prepared by distillation of red ants, right? So ants, from ants came from the word formica. Formica in Latin means red ants, right? Or ants. Formica means ants in Latin, right? So formic acid is named formic acid. Why? Because it was found in ants, right? So this was an old system, right? And this system gave confusion because based on their properties or based on their source, right, if you name these organic compounds, then these would be named differently in different places, right? So we need to have a set of rules to name these organic compounds when these organic compounds started increasing, right? So the rules were given by IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, right? And as per IUPAC, the name of the organic compound was consist of word root, right, plus a suffix, then you have a prefix, right? Now what does this word root means? Word root means when you have an organic compound, you might have seen that big organic compounds contains a long chain of carbon atoms. So the number of atoms in that long chain, right, represents your word root. And suffix will tell you the nature of bonds in that long chain. In that long chain of carbon atoms, whether you have double bond, triple bond, single bond, right, that information would be given by suffix, right? And the prefix will tell you the substituent, right, or the side chain which is attached to the organic compound. Like nitro, if you have a nitro group attached to the organic compound, that's your side chain, right? So nitro group is a prefix. Or if you have a methoxy group, ethoxy group, we'll just learn that in a moment, right? And this suffix is further consists of primary and secondary suffix, right? So word root right will show you the number of carbon atoms. So if you have C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, C8, C9, right? So C1 means if you have one carbon atom in the chain, you have meth, right? And if you have 2, it represents eth, 3 prop, 4 but, right? 5 is pent, hex, hept, oct, nonane, right? NON. Now these first 4 are taken from common names of these organic compounds, and these rest, right, starting from C5, these are taken from Greek numerals. Right? Now, second thing is your suffix. Now if you have say 4 carbon atoms, that means you have in the name of the organic compound you will add BUT, right? Now if you have say, then you will look at what type of bonds you have between carbon atoms. If it's a double bond, triple bond, or a single bond, right? That information would be called as suffix. Suffix, right? So suffix will show you type of bonds, and you have primary and secondary suffix. Secondary suffix will tell you the functional group, and word root will tell you number of carbon atoms in the principal chain. Prefix will tell you about the side chain or the substituent. Right? Now suffix type of bonds, if you have a single bond, if you have a double bond, if you have a triple bond. If you have a single bond, you add ANE to the word root. If you have a double bond, you will add ENE. If you have a triple bond, you add YNE. If you have an alkyl group, right, then you add YL. Right? If it's single bond, we know these are alkanes. Double bond organic compounds are alkenes, and triple bonds are alkynes. Right? So if you have a double bond, you know that it's an alkene. Right? Now comes your secondary suffix. Right? Secondary suffix will tell you about functional group. Right? So let's look at the functional group. If you have say alcohol, if you have OH, right, OH represents an alcohol, so you will add all to the name. If you have an aldehyde, right, that means you have CHO, that means this is Al. Right? If you have carboxylic acid, you have COOH. Right? COOH means you will add OIC. right? So based on functional group, you will add these names. If it's alcohol, you will write OL, AL, OIC, right? These names you will add. And if if you say you have a ester functional group, ester, then you will add OATE. If you have an amide functional group, then you will add amide, right? Now let's look at the prefix. Prefix, as I said, represents your side chain or a substituent. Which is your nitro, fluoro, chloro, right? Or OCH3 methoxy, OC2H5, right? All these. There is a list. There is a big list of these, right? And if you have, there are other like formyl, and these you will learn these, right? But just remember, these are few of prefixes that you have to put before the word root, right? So prefix will come, these prefix will come. Prefix is something that comes before. So this is prefix which comes before. If you have a nitro group, so you will name it before the word root. Suffix will come after the word root. Suffix will include all this information, your type of carbon bonds and your functional group, right? These will come in suffix. Now there are certain rules for suffix, right? For naming suffix, right? So if you have, suppose in the organic compound, if you have 2 double bonds, or if you have 2 triple bonds, right? Say if you have 4 double bonds. If you have 2 double bonds, then you will add di. Di means 2. If you have, since it's a double bond, diene. If you have 4 double bonds, then you will write tetraene. Tetra means 4. If you have two triple bonds, then you will write diene. If you have 4 triple bonds, then you will write tetraene, like this. Right? Now, this is a suffix that gives you information about the type of carbon bonds, and if you have di, tri, tetra, that means you have this di, tri, tetra tells you the number of double or triple bonds, right? Now, this entire makes a suffix, right? So this is a suffix now, diene and diene. Now, if the suffix starts with a consonant, here if you see diene, diene, it does not start with a vowel sound. It does not start with a, e, I, o, u, right? So these, right, these, if you look at these, starts, it, let's say it does not start with vowel sound. Vowel sound is like a, e, I, o, u. It starts with d, diene. It does not start with a, e, I, o, u. So what you will do is, if the suffix does not start with a vowel sound, then what you will do is you will add a to the word root, right? To the word root you will add a to the word root, right? For example, if the word root is beauty, then you will add a, it will become buta. If the word root is meth, add a, it will become metha, right? This is how. So this is one rule. Let's name some organic compounds based on this rule, right? If you have an organic compound, CH2 double bond CH, CH double bond CH2, right? How do you name this organic compounds? You will be applying this rule, right, of dropping a if the suffix starts with a consonant, that is if it does not start with a vowel. If let's name this what is the longest chain? This is the longest. You have a single chain. This is the longest chain that contain 4 carbon atoms. So from here, 4 carbon atom means BUT. You will add BUT plus type of bonds. You have double bonds, right? You have double bond. So ENE. You have 2 double bonds. So like I said here, if you have a 2 double bond, then you will write diene. So it will become diene. Right? Now, since suffix, as per this rule, if suffix does not start with a vowel sound, it starts with D sound, right? Then you add A to the word root. The word root is bu. It will become butadiene. The name of the compound is butadiene, right? Similarly, let's look at other compound. Right? How many carbon atoms? You have 4 carbon atoms. That means BUT plus you have triple bond, 2 triple bonds. That means YNE. Di means you have 2. That means you will add di. Right? So now suffix does not start with a vowel sound. It starts with D sound. So you will add A. It will be butadiene. Like this. This is what the rule says. Right? It's a simple rule. Now there is another rule. That says to drop E. Right? We would be dropping E from the suffix while writing the secondary suffix. Yeah. As I said, that secondary suffix, right? These are secondary suffix. OL, AL, OIC, OAT, MET, right? If the secondary suffix starts with a vowel sound, then you will drop E from primary suffix, right? This rule is between primary suffix and secondary suffix. This rule was between suffix and the word root. I repeat, this rule was between word root and suffix. This rule is between primary and secondary suffix, right? So I'll just write it over here. If secondary suffix starts with a vowel sound, right? If secondary suffix starts with a vowel sound now we know is A, E, I, O, U. Then you will drop E, right? You will drop E from primary suffix. Right? You will drop, let's take an example of this. If this is the compound CH3, CH2, CH2OH, right? Let's name this compound considering this rule, the one that I've just told you, between primary suffix and secondary suffix, right? So how many carbon atoms? 3 carbon atoms. That means 3 carbon atoms means PROP, right? Second rule is you will look at the suffix. Suffix is nature of carbon bonds. What type of carbon bonds you have? You have single bonds, right? So you will add ANE. Single bond means ANE, right? The third is in suffix you will see what kind of functional group you have, right? Suffix consists of primary and secondary. Primary suffix will tell you the nature of carbon bonds, which is ANE. Now comes the secondary suffix that will tell you the functional group, right? Here the functional group you can see is OH. OH is alcohol. So alcohol means OL. You will add OL based on secondary suffix. Alcohol, OH means alcohol group. So alcohol group says to add OL. Aldehyde says to add AL. Right? So you will add OL. Right? Now this suffix starts with a vowel sound, right? ANE, on. right? Or this primary suffix, right? Primary suffix starts with a vowel sound. So if primary suffix starts with a vowel sound, then drop E from the primary suffix. We will drop E from here. If primary suffix starts with a vowel sound, then we will drop E from here. I'm sorry. If secondary suffix here is your alcohol. So alcohol, OL, it starts with the vowel sound OL. This, right? This OL, this starts with a vowel sound O. So we will drop E from the primary suffix, that is ANE. We'll drop E from here. So this name will become PROPAN. I'll drop A, then all. Propanol. If I'll not drop AE, then it will become propanol. Right? This is incorrect. This is correct. Right? Why? Because your secondary suffix starts with the vowel sound, so you have to drop E from the primary suffix. This is what the rule says. Right? Let's take some other example. This is a compound. Right? This is a compound. So how to name this? It has 2 carbon atoms. 2 carbon atoms means it. Now suffix. Suffix will tell you the type of bonds, right? Primary suffix will tell you the type of bonds. You have single bonds, right? So plus ANE, right? Now secondary suffix, functional group. What functional group you have? OH. Here also you have OH. Now you have 2 OH groups, right? 2 OH groups means di means 2, ol means functional group, diol, right? Alcohol means OL. OL is from alcohol, di is from 2 OH alcohol groups, right? So since here the name does not start with the vowel, right? So we will not drop E. Here the name of the secondary suffix, the name of the secondary suffix here started with the vowel sound O. So we dropped here E. But here the name of the secondary suffix does not start with a vowel sound, that is A, E, I, O, U. It starts with the D, da. Right? So we will not drop E here. So name of the compound would be ethane diol. Right? This is how we will apply the rule. Here we will not drop E since the secondary suffix does not start with a vowel sound. Here secondary suffix starts with this vowel sound, so we'll drop E. Right? This is how the rule applies. Now let's quickly look at this prefix. Right? As I said, that prefix will consist of these groups: nitro group, fluoro group, methoxy, ethoxy group. Now let's see how to adjust or how to write name using prefixes. Right? So if you have a prefix, say fluoro, chloro, nitro, right, then these are regarded as side chains or substituents. As I said, that these are side chains or substituents, right? The prefix are added before the word root, right? This comes before the word root, so prefix is added before the word root to indicate the nature of side chain, right? It will tell you the nature of side chain attached to the parent chain, right? So now if compound has more than one functional group, then one of the functional group is regarded as the principal functional group, right, and designated by secondary suffix, while the other functional group is regarded as the substituent and also indicated by prefix. Right? Suppose you have 2 functional groups in the same organic compound, right? One is the functional, one group would be the principal functional group and the other would be the secondary functional group, right? And the principal functional group, right, would be represented by a secondary suffix, right? Like we used here the name of the secondary suffix OL, right? So this is how principal functional group would be used. Principal functional group will take the place of secondary suffix, right, in case of two functional groups. And the other functional group will be used as the prefix, right, will be taken in place of prefix, right. So let's write some names, right. Let me just take some examples, 2-3 examples where we will see how to use the prefixes. Right, I'll just drop these examples. Right. So let's take example. The example is CH3, CH3. Let me just take, there is an example, a nice example here. It is CH3, right, CH3, right, CH2, COH, double bond O, right. Now here we will see how to name the compound first, right. This represents how many carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, right. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms, right. So you have BUT, right, plus type of carbon bonds, you have single bonds, right, you have single bonds, so you will add ANE, right. Primary suffix. What is the secondary suffix? Secondary suffix is your functional group, right. Functional group is methanoic acid. If you have carboxylic acid, you will add OIC, right. Now as per the rule, if the functional group starts with OIC, if secondary suffix, this is what functional group is, secondary suffix, right. If secondary suffix starts with OIC, then we will drop E from the primary suffix, right. And now we'll just look at this prefix. Here is the prefix. This is your side chain, right. Prefix is what? Side chain or substituent. This is your side chain. It's connected to this carbon atom, so this is a side chain, right. So we will add this before the name of word root. Before word root we add prefix. Prefix comes before word root, if you look at this, right. So we will add, and what is its position? What is the position of this side chain? It is at third carbon atom. The prefix will be 3-methyl, right. Now the name would be, just remember this rule, right. Name would be, since this is the secondary suffix that represents your functional group, it starts with a vowel sound, so I'll drop E from here, right. It would be butane. I'll just replace this E, drop this E, it would be OIC, and 3-methyl is your prefix. So 3-methyl butanoic, right, this is acid, 3-methyl butanoic acid, right. This is how you will name it. Now the other compound is, let's take another compound. The other compound is your CH3, CH, double bond CH, CH2, OH, right. Here how many carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right. So you have pent, 5 carbon atoms means pent, right. Plus you have double bond, ENE, you have OH group, OL, double bond is at 2, right. So you will add, it's at 1 second carbon atom, so you will add 2 here, right. OL is at 1 carbon atom, so you have to add positions as well, 1 OL, right. And